Hi there, taking a look at the Chapter 8 capstone, specifically Step 4. So I have the instructions on the screen. Step 4 reads, enter a function in cell M11 to calculate the number of survey responses in which restaurant 251 received a 2 or less in wait time and service. So we can see from this set of instructions that we have two conditions that have to be met, and that is that the store has to receive a 2 or less in wait time and in service. So that tells us we have to use an ifs plural statement, right? Because we have two conditions that have to be met. And the first part of that set of instructions says calculate the number of survey responses. That tells us we have to use a count function. So altogether, we're going to use a count ifs function to get the results that we want. Okay, I'm going to flip over to our spreadsheet and click on cell M11. There I am, ready to go. All right, now how you enter this function is up to you. If you like to use the insert formulas command or the fx command, I'm just going to start typing. So I'm going to type equals count, and then from my list, I'm going to double click on count ifs. And then Excel will respond by telling me the different inputs that I need to add for this function to calculate. So my first input is the criteria range. What range of data do I want to match my criteria against? And our range of data is B4 all the way through, B33. And as we add every input to this function, we need to constantly be thinking to ourselves, is this a relative reference, an absolute reference, or a mixed reference? I can see that this is an absolute reference, right? This range of cells will never change as I copy this function down. So I'm going to press F4 to convert that to an absolute range. You can add the dollar signs manually if you prefer, however you want to do that. Then at the end, I'm going to add a comma because I'm now ready for my second input. And my second input is here. It's asking me, well, what criteria do you want to match against that range? And the instructions tell us to use the criteria sitting in L11. And L11 needs to stay a relative reference, right? Because as we copy this down, we want L11 to change to L12, L13, right? So that'll stay a relative reference. Okay, moving on, another comma. What's criteria range number 2? So here now we're ready to calculate our wait time. So we're going to take C4 through C33. There we go. Again, that is going to be an absolute reference. That range will never change. We don't want it to shift down. It doesn't make sense, right? Our data stops at C33. So I'm going to make that an absolute reference. All right, I'm going to add my comma there. Now I need to add the criteria. So here's where, remember in the instructions it said wait time needs to be 2 or less. So here's where I need to enter the criteria to match against wait time. And the criteria actually is sitting here in L10. Ah, great. So now we have L10. Is it going to be absolute or relative? Yep, you're right, absolute. So I'm going to convert L10 to be an absolute reference. L10 will never change. The criteria for this is always in L10. All right, I'm going to click at the end. I'm ready to move on, adding my comma. My next set of criteria was service. Yep, so I'm going to select E4 through E33. Again, that whole range gets to be an absolute reference. Add my comma at the end. What's the criteria? I'm going to match this again. Match this against L10. L10 is an absolute reference. That's my last input value. So I'm going to type in that ending parentheses. Cross your fingers, grab your lucky rabbit's foot. I'm going to press enter, and that's our result. Now, it's not enough to get this function to work in M11, you have to be able to copy it down to the other two cells and get the proper results as well. If you have any trouble at all, feel free to email me.